Just like that, baby, we officially live on the official Wado podcast with your boy YDOE, and today is episode 92, and I am thrilled to have a special guest, once an opponent, once an op, I guess you could say, a Treasure Coast legend, my dog, Mr. Garrett Kent. How do you feel, big dog?
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on today.
Come on, I had to have you on, man. One of the greatest Treasure Coast players that I played against in my era, for sure. So what started you? How did you get into Treasure Coast first and foremost? You live by there. What forced you to become a Titan?
Yeah, really proximity. You know, like we didn't grow up in the NIL days. You know, where we weren't getting offers in high school, but my best friends Kyle and Justin right there. You know, we had it set out that we were going there. So really, I mean, just walking distance. I could have walked to school if I had to, you know? Yeah, my dad took me to my first high school varsity game, and it was Treasure Coast versus Martin County at Treasure Coast. And, like, it was Martin County won by a wide margin, but, you know, that atmosphere was just different for a middle school kid.
Yeah, right. And so basketball was something that you always enjoyed growing up as a kid?
Oh, yeah. Back before the AAU scenes, you know, we had to play at the local parks. So Jessica Clinton, Sportsman,
Come on now.
You know, Lingate. We were out there in Minsky, you know, right as we were getting older, they just built the Civic Center. So, you know, we had just moved to the Civic Center, but it was really Minsky in the outdoor parks, man.
Yeah, for me, I truly feel like Sportsman's Park was like the Rucker for me for a couple of years, especially when they first moved it from near the baseball fields before they shut it down and stuff like that. But the outside scene, I think these kids these days don't appreciate it and don't have it like we had it. Yeah,
no, I totally agree. You know, playing against grown men that you called a foul, you know, they were looking at you sideways, and tough basketball. A lot of these kids, man, they can't appreciate that. They're playing indoors, you know, travel ball scenes, you know, it's different. Not that there's anything wrong with the travel ball scenes. It's just that there's not enough grit, in my opinion.
Now, I'm a Jaguar for life, okay? PSL all day. PSL, shout out to them Jaguars. But as a Titan, I always want to ask, I've had Jeff Luck. Shout out to Jeff. Had Chris Carter. Now we got Big Garrett Kent. Okay, you was really one of and I looked at you guys like the three-headed dragons. Okay, you obviously Justin Nichols. You mentioned Kyle Shapiro. You guys were some bad boys. The Websters. You guys had a great team.
Yeah,
great
we did.
Coach. But for you, I want to ask before we dive super into it, what does Titan-born, Titan-bred mean?
It means a lot, man. I mean, growing up, like, I was a freshman when Chris Carter and Jeff Luck were doing their thing, and like, I don't think their football team has had success, but man, when Jeff Luck was there, they had some real good teams. I got to witness a lot of special teams, and Chris Carter, he didn't have the success as a team, but we really got to see the work ethic of somebody special. And outside of that, man, I mean, Kyle and Justin are still my best friends, you know, so just that bond we created in high school, you know, I still talk. It's Coach Lehman, man, he's the principal there now, you know, like he's doing his thing there, and I still keep in contact with a lot of players on that team, so it's a special bond for sure.
Yeah, that's great. And so you guys were playing before that, right? Were you guys playing Minsky days as well? I never played Minsky ball. I was a skateboarder and shit. I was out there doing a bunch of other things besides basketball.
Yeah. We were playing with Alan,
Alan Morgan,
you know, like Alan was playing since we were kids. But yeah, Kyle and I joined each other's teams. I kind of joined his team, I guess you could say, with his dad, but that was after years and years of playing against each other. Same with Justin. So, you know, that kind of helped us know what kind of players we were playing against, and really like helped elevate our games, you know, competition.
Now, shout out to Coach Lehman. He was a great coach to play against. I never played for him. I've seen him from a distance, much respect. What was Coach Lehman like?
He held you accountable, man. You know, like, if you were messing around, you know, he'd let you know, and then you'd be running. Like he held us accountable. No BS coach, you know. And he was young too, and it's something I appreciate now as a man. But he was just starting his family too. So, you know, in hindsight, him giving all that time to us as just a teacher, you know, and now seeing what he's doing now, like it meant a lot, you know, because now he can't give that same time. So I really appreciate it.
And I always feel like to the young kids that are quick to kind of give up or bail out on a tough or rough coach, and I'm like, to me, the best coaches I ever had, you hated him at first, and then at the end you realize, man, I got a lot of love for him. He pushed me to that greatness. He saw it in me before. I've had some nice guy coaches You know, I didn't need a friend. I needed a coach. So the nice guys, you see the team kind of push over them a little bit. So would you agree with that the hard-nosed coaches that later on that show you that they love you, it pays off a little bit better?
100%. Yeah. And, you know, everybody's different. You know, I react and I play better with a coach like that, you know, and some people don't, you know, but like you said, not everybody makes it. You know, being in high school, everybody knows the most talented kids in the school aren't always the players that make the team, you know, because you gotta make the grades, you gotta stay disciplined. And then at the end of the day, you know, this isn't Minsky where your parents are paying X amount of dollars and you get to play a certain amount of minutes. So if you're not doing what it takes to be on the court, that coach could just cut you.
Yeah.
You know, so we had plenty of guys at Treasure Coast that were definitely talented enough to play, but they just didn't put in the work off the court.
Yeah, there's always great basketball players, unfortunately, in the bleachers that can really hoop, that watch the real team, that might have even made a practice, might have even went to tryouts, couldn't make the team, got kicked off, whatever happens. It's every school, everywhere. It's very unfortunate.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, like, I think today I'm always on the fence with should kids go way into AAU as a kid. I didn't play AAU, Garrett, until 19U. I played for Team Florida. Finally got to play at that time I was looking up the guys playing for Team Florida. But I wasn't a kid playing AAU in the summers throughout high school or middle school like a lot of kids these days are. And I don't know if you did a lot, but to me, there's nothing like playing for a true school. When I played for college, when I played for high school, like playing for that, having a real coach, a real standard, a real form of accountability throughout your players, your coaches. Like, to me, there's nothing like a true public high school, college atmosphere. Wasn't really a fan of the AAU atmosphere. It was kind of just like conditioning in the off season and let's go play in big tournaments. So what are your thoughts on AAU versus public school?
Yeah, so I can just talk about my perspective. I agree. I feel like the high school scene, it's just more time devoted to it, you know, more chemistry because you can't kind of have that time devoted to AAU because it's on the weekends and stuff like that, you know. But I just think it means more, you know, as a school, you know, you're also representing something other than yourself, where I feel like AAU is a lot of, all right, I'm here to display my talents, you know. Not that you can't have a good team, you know, but a lot of those coaches that are looking at you, they're looking at you, you know, when people come out to watch your high school games, they're watching your team. You know, don't get me wrong, you have your parents and people that are watching you, but I feel like it just means more getting those wins and going to see your friends afterwards, like at school after the games and stuff like that. So I do feel like it has a deeper meaning to it. Yep. But the AAU scene is just, I feel like it's so different now than when we were growing up, you know. It's just, I do feel like a lot of it's a money grab for some of these parents, but you know, like it's hard for us to compare because it's just night and day difference from when we were growing up.
Right. I think we were kind of like getting watered down in our days. Because I'm like, man, there's so many players here. There's so many games going on. There is scouts, obviously, way more scouts than would have come to a public game on the Treasure Coast to watch us, right? But even that, I'm like, why would you scout and why does AAU matter more if that's not the direct kind of basketball that translates to high-level college?
Right.
To me, AAU is fast-brace, rec ball, fast break, let's get out. Not a lot of slow-paced half-court basketball.
Right. A lot of one-on-one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just get your matchup and just do you. And you don't want to get too exposed because you're trying to make a highlight tape at the end of the day.
Yep.
I got second place at the Disney Worldwide Sports event. Didn't mean that much to me, like losing to county and regionals did.
No,
you know what I'm saying? It's just it's a different vibe, and the way you play is different. I played different in AAU than I did with a team structure. You find your role in a real team structure, and that's more important to me than go get 30.
100%, totally agree with you. I did like what opened my eyes though. My first AAU team was with Tim Debish. Like his dad put us together, and we went to Disney. Luckily, being in Florida, you know, you didn't have to travel too far for some of those tournaments. But we got there, and like there was this big matchup going on. You know, no, we weren't watching, or we weren't playing, so we went to go watch. And I'll never forget though, like seeing Tom Izzo, Bill Self, Billy Donovan, like all these coaches watching this game, and I'm thinking to myself like, this makes sense. You know, this was before the huddle days, the YouTube stuff. You know, that was just coming along. So I was like, okay, you know, there's no college going around. These guys, this is how they find talent. You know, so like, don't get me wrong, it's tough to see because these guys know it's just a bunch of talented guys on one roster. So like you said, one-on-one, you know, get your matchup, expose it. But it made sense a little bit. Like, okay, they want to see it for themselves, and this is because they're not gonna. Friday night you're playing county.
Exactly.
There's probably 4 other games you could go watch too.
Yeah.
So I get that from that aspect.
And it's unfortunate that, the high school season is also the same time as the college season. So those coaches really can't come watch us like they can in AAU during the summer when they're available. So I'm not hating on AAU. Shout out to anybody that plays AAU. Yeah. I'm just not a fan of so many kids these days that only play travel ball and aren't even playing in public school. You'll never get anything. You won't get anything out of AAU that you wouldn't get from public school, and there's so much that you'll never get from AAU that you'll only get playing on a real team.
Right, and unfortunately, I think a lot of kids these days think like, oh, if I play more AAU basketball, it's going to make me better. When in reality, you could get better in the gym by yourself.
Yes.
Like kids want to and I've heard this argument a lot being in basketball, like why the European players are getting better is because they don't have as many games. They're really like focusing on their craft. And whereas I feel like we just want to, okay, you lose a game, let me play another one. Like that's going to make me better. Like playing ball is going to make you better regardless. But I feel like playing game after game when you're not working on something to get better, like you're making the same mistakes over and over again. You got to really expand your game and focus on like, what am I doing wrong so I can correct that mistake so you can make new mistakes.
Right. At the end of the day, I know a lot of great basketball players. I know very few that were professional basketball players. But we were all playing at the same time. And it's what you get out of playing basketball that really matters to me out of the kids. Like there's so much that I got. I have people that are just like me, but we went down different paths. We're so much different. And to me, I credit to being a part of a sports team, playing basketball, treating it the way I did. It was, half of my life pretty much, day in and day out. So what you get out of that, what I got, the friendships that I got, I can name you every teammate I've ever had at PSL in college. I couldn't name you maybe 3 AAU guys I had.
I agree.
It's just, and to me, that's what matters.
Right.
It's real bonds. It's sacrificing my role. It's truly rooting for somebody else. Not, man, he had 30 and I didn't get a look at.
Right.
PSL, I didn't care if I had 1 if we got that win.
Yeah.
I had plenty of games where I went off and we lost. It didn't matter to me. You know what I mean? So
right.
in AAU, I would have been mad if I didn't go off.
Right.
And to me, there's nothing else like a team, and I kind of took it for granted now that we're grown-ass people. You go to work and you have a little bit of a team, but it's just not the same.
Right. And I totally get it, man. Like I grew up, I had an attitude issue, like I hated losing, like that was a big issue for me. But when I got to high school, like it really changed my mindset because I was grinding with these guys, like if I was in foul trouble and I came out, like middle school me would have just probably not even paid attention to the rest of the game until I came back in, but in high school, like I started cheering for these guys, like from the bench, like, and growing up like that's just who I was. That's not who I was until I got to high school and really like bought in with these guys,
But I want to ask Garrett, let's keep it real, bro. You were kind of back then, bro. You were like, you were the big bully dog on the court. You were like the original Draymond. Was that because you're a really nice guy, and that I met you in life. I'm not gonna lie. As a kid, I didn't like Garrett. He was scary. I didn't like him. He was big. He was mean. I was okay in high school. I could shoot really, really good. I was probably the best shooter in the area, but I wasn't that good yet. But Garrett was good. He was scary. I didn't really like him. He was mean. But I want to ask, was that persona truly who you were, or did you put that on for game day to be the enforcer?
It was definitely a game day thing. Like, so I grew up watching the Celtics, with the big 3,
Yeah.
KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, like that type of era.
Attitude.
And I wanted to be the KG of my team, like I wanted to be that enforcer, like anything in the paint, like that's what I felt was my responsibility.
Nothing easy.
Right. So yeah, I probably led the area in text, like I ran my mouth. Depending on what ref, I probably got a couple, like easily, got one in my last game, killed us. But that's just like, and like you said, like Kyle and Justin, like we looked at ourselves like a big 3. So like I wouldn't say they were like a Steph and Clay, but that's how we looked at ourselves as like, and I tried to be that Draymond, like anything on defense. And I feel like that's what we're missing these days, man. Like kids don't buy into roles, they think the only way to impact the game is scoring, and like, I didn't look at it like that, like if I scored, great. I tried to get I felt like my best shot was an offensive rebound, like that's what I was going for every single time. So that's just the way I approached it. And yeah, I tried to be that enforcer, and no one even back then, no one loves boxing out. But like I felt like that was my specialty, and like don't get me wrong, it helps being 6'4", but like
you
like
enjoy doing it,
right? But I played against plenty of taller guys, more athletic guys that couldn't grab a rebound on me because I knew the fundamentals of it.
Ask Garrett, you were a true big man. You were pretty athletic. You weren't jumping out the gym. You were a goddamn big man, really tall, especially in high school days. 6'4" is a big man back then.
Yeah.
But in your head, because nowadays a lot of bigs want to be guards, and you play and practice their guards and they have to adjust when it's a game. Now they're doing post moves. Did you know you were a big man? Did you embody that, or were you trying to be a guard in your head?
No, I wasn't. I was never trying to be a guard. I was super blessed to have Coach Williams, who was 6'10" as our assistant coach, true big man. He taught me a lot of fundamentals, pivots, and I practiced, man. I wasn't shooting threes. I made a couple throughout the season, but I had to be wide open. Like I was trying to get to the rack. I was trying to post up, but sure, it might have helped me in hindsight if my aspirations were college in the NBA, like to play guard. But for my team, being in this area, 6'4", you're gonna get in the paint, So that's what my team needed. That's what was asked of me, and I love doing it. I'd rather guard a 250, 6'5" guy than a 5'5", like super shifty guard. Like that. That's just how I operated, and that's just what my team needed. So it was easy for me to do.
And it's like I'm saying to you guys, I didn't like Garrett at all back then. He was a scary big tall guy, talk shit, and he was really not dirty, but he was doing dirty work stuff, and he was willing to bang out. So if he was out there trying to score 30 a night, shoot threes, we wouldn't have been scared. So that his role. The role that he chose to embody had so much more impact beyond just his team. You know what I mean? So to the kids out there, if you're that guy that's scrappy and you're the tough guy of the team and you bang out and you play defense, that goes way farther than, he can also shoot threes. Yeah. It goes way farther.
Yeah.
And you got to prepare for Garrett.
Yeah. And I made first team all area, and like, I think I was the only big in our area that made it like that. Everybody wanted to be a guard, and what we weren't there yet with the 3-point game. Like people wanted to shoot. Like you would have strived in it.
No, I know. I look back like, God dang, imagine.
Yeah, so like the 3-pointer was not as a point of emphasis like it is today, but we tried to make it work, and what really made us great that year was people had their roles, and people embraced it, and we didn't have a lot of argument of who's shooting what, when, like how many shots we're getting. It was just the flow of the game.
Right? Yeah. I mean, seeing the old highlight tapes of Timmy coming off triple screens, and I'm like, bro, I never had that ever. Just seeing like a game plan to have somebody shoot. Yeah. I was like, Tico's got it going on over there.
Yeah, Timmy was the year before me. Like I was a junior playing with Timmy, and we had him come off a lot of screens because we wanted him to shoot the ball, obviously.
and like to me, because like I got really good later in life, and I'm like, man, what? I didn't grow 5 inches. I got a little stronger, right? But like, what happened? What made the switch? Because I was always good. There's just something wasn't there, and to me, it was the confidence. I wasn't confident. I never had a big brother. We're gonna get into your family. I never had a support system. My dad really didn't give a shit about basketball. He supported me, my best dad for me, but didn't really care about ball. Didn't know about ball. So I lacked the confidence of let me do my thing. Let me become who I became later on. For you, who pushed you outside of Treasure Coast? Who unlocked, the best ability out of you?
Yeah, definitely my dad. Definitely blessed with the family I have. My dad was a big athlete himself. Growing up, basketball, football, and I really credit my toughness and my physicality on the court to football. Like I played my freshman year with the Jeff Luck team, and like I got moved up to varsity and played practice squad and I like that. And Jeff Luck and them were tackling me. And like I learned that right then and there, like, man, I don't love to get hit. Like that was my last year of football. Yeah. And but that, like, going from that to basketball, where like it's not like these guys are like a quarter of the size of a Jeff Luck, like, and that team was stacked. It was not just Jeff Luck. Like I struggle. I know Cedric Wilcox, a couple others on that team. Like big guys, you know, and like going from that to basketball, like it was easy, you know, and it helped me physically 100%. And I would advise guys, if you want to really get more physical in your basketball game, go out to football. You know, like these guys will hit you when you're in an Oklahoma drill, and you're going to wait for that whistle, knowing that guy on the other side is bigger than you. Like it's those moments where it's like, okay, come basketball, it's not the same, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, my dad was a big man, coached me, real lucky, coached me from a young age, you know, and he held me accountable. And that stuff really helped me when I got to high school, made it an easier transition.
I want to ask something I like to ask the opposing players. Okay, we fam now, big dog, but used to be an op. But I want to ask old school Garrett. Let's go back into the mindset of the old Treasure Coast Titans. What players in the area, what teams gave you some issues? What teams you look at, players you look at like, yeah, he's good. These guys are problems back then in our area?
Yeah, so obviously Boo, player of the year for our area. I think he had 52 on us in double overtime. Unfortunately, we lost that game. That was a heartbreaker for us. Allen always gave us issues, man.
Shout out my brother Bundy.
I like to say for the record that we never lost to PSL, but
God damn it, bro.
But Allen was always a problem for us. Shelvick Henry,
bad boy.
We never lost to him or Sebastian. Granted, we only played them once. They were a little bit up north for us. Justin James, I know he was a class younger than us, but they gave us some issues.
Freshman, yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, outside of that, it's I don't remember the Vero class before us who went to the States.
Yeah, Charlie Miller.
Charlie Miller, yeah, that team was special. They were real good. I'm not going to put anybody above Justin for me. Like, he's my guy. And Kyle,
Nichols,
too.
Yeah,
Justin Nichols.
there you go.
Like, he, on Justin's best day, man, he could compete with anybody. So, from that guard spot. So, he was filthy. He'd be on my Mount Rushmore for this area, especially, like, you talking specific classes, you know, 2013. Like, I would have him up there for sure. And then Kyle and I, man, we were the big three. Like, that's how we looked at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how the area looked at it for sure. And it was just, you know, the level was Martin County. And motherfuckers, dog.
And, man,
shout out to Coach
freshman
Leon.
year, sophomore
them,
year, junior year, they killed us, man. We walked in there, Justin Simmons, my junior year, playing at County. Yeah. I loved playing at County, man. A lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah, I always rose to the occasion. It was
I loved it. You know, they start chanting Ginger at me. You know, when we had Frank, they were calling him Slim Shady. Like, it was the best. I mean, how can you not like an atmosphere?
Here come the Tigers, bro. They had the DJ. They had the surround stadium up top, a bigger court. They had a college-sized court.
I would have gave anything to play them again my senior year, man. When they came, like, we swapped every year. So junior year, we played them at their place. And we had a guy transfer from Treasure Coast to there, so that had some other meaning to it. And then them coming to Treasure Coast, man, I have never been as hyped for a game besides like district championships and stuff like that. But when we were up, we were beating them by 20, 19, 20 points. And they put a press on us, man, and they came, Boo just got hot, man. It's one of the hardest losses that we had as a team, man. And like seeing where they ended up, I know they made the state tournament. I don't know if they made the state championship.
They didn't win it that year. They won it after we left.
Yeah, I love the coach too.
That's a state champion, Martin County basketball. So much respect.
I love the coach too. I think he's great. I think he does a real good job over there too.
Legend.
Yep. So that was the standard, like you said. We all looked up to them. But I thought that year, we were better than them, and I thought we let one get away. But I mean, you got to credit them, man. They won it. They took it from us. You know, we didn't just give it to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some county boys on the show here soon, and I'm gonna let them know that although they whooped our ass every time, I always did my thing.
Yeah,
they know my name in there. I had 25 the last time we played, but Garrett, one time they beat us 4 times in a year, bro. Twice in the normal season and twice in the playoffs.
2013.
Yep.
Oh man.
No, 2012.
Okay, 2012.
Year.
Okay,
beat us twice. We played them in districts, lost in the championship. We got sent off to Braden River. We won, came back for the regionals again at County, And they fucking
Oh, see, I'm
smacked us.
jealous, man. I wish we got to play them 4 times. Like, we only got to play them.
And that was the
once.
Justin Simmons, the Travers days. That was they
Yep.
were fucking stacked.
Oh, the
They
Justin
were so
Simmons,
good.
man. I got to play them at County that year, and electric atmosphere. I think because we played them always right before winter break, you know, like that mid-December.
People were still there to get.
Yeah, and they were man. I mean, they got the best gym in the area. Like, I don't think it's debatable.
Yeah, shout out to him. I respect him, but it's on site. If I ever see any of them in a jersey on a basketball court, it's up. You know what I mean? To this day, I shout out to all them boys. Boo, Travis, Terrell. I've seen them all. Nick Martyr, them boys.
Yep. Yeah, Nick, big
Dang.
shots versus us, man. He had some big shots versus us.
Now I want to ask Garrett. You know, you got a legendary family. How important is your family been? And talk to me about your siblings one time.
Yeah, no, definitely. My sister's the real athlete of the family.
I was going to ask you. I was going to lead it up to it, but are you the best athlete in your family?
No, I'm not. I was at a point, you know, when she wasn't
had the
old
throne.
enough. Yeah. So there's a little age gap there, but nah, she's a D1 athlete. You know, I would say she's the best volleyball player from the 772. You know, I'm not in depth with all the high schools around here for volleyball, but 4 NCAA tournaments. She's got 4 championships, 4 rings on her finger. You know, she just won Player of the Year
Let's go.
for the conference in the A-Sun. So
FGCU stand up now.
Yep. So she's really held it down for our family, and she's the real athlete. But no, all my brothers played ball. You know, my younger brother, who was a class below me, was the coach, and they won. So we were the first district championships at Treasure Coast 2013, and then they won it the year after in 2014 when he was coaching with Lehman. So he's been coaching with Lehman for all 4 years, you know, when he was there. So that was awesome from him. And then my younger brother, I think he won a district there. I could be wrong. I think his junior year they won a district, but I think they had the best record ever for Treasure Coast. I think they went 30-3. So they ended up getting killed by an Orlando team that went pretty far when they got to regionals. You know, like, you know how that works once you win districts. You know, we matched the Orlando guys.
Get put in there with the Sharks.
Hey, man, we brought Doc Rivers to the city though.
Come on now.
He came to the 772. We were playing his son. Happened to coincide with the All-Star break.
Yeah.
And man, seeing Doc Rivers there, he was the coach for the Celtics. Like I said, like I was a Celtics fan, man. I walked out to him and he was
Austin
like,
was the biggest name of all time.
he was there too. Austin Rivers was there too. He had just declared for Duke. You know, I think he would just declared for Duke. No, he was a year or 2 at Duke. Yeah, but yeah, man, everybody knew Austin Rivers at the time. You know,
so knowing his little brother's playing,
yeah,
shut it down.
He was awesome, man. Super nice to everybody. The whole family was super nice. But yeah, man, he called me Brian Scalabrine, and I was like, man, that's awesome. Like everybody knew who Brian Scalabrine was if you were a Celtics fan. So having him call me that and getting his picture after the game, I was happy because we had just beat his son, you know. So we were going to the next part in regionals, but I was telling everybody, man, I had a feeling, you know, like they live in Winter Park, you know, it's only an hour and a half, All-Star break, but like it was just like perfect timing, man. And to see him and his son, future NBA a lottery pick in Port St. Lucie,
right?
You know, like it was like I feel like we had made it, you know, like something that small, but it felt like something so big, you know.
Man, that's crazy, bro. Just to see that. And now, for you, what's it like to see Dalton out there as a coach? Shout out to them Jaguars. Okay, he came here and ripped for the Jags.
So I'm a Titan born, Titan bred, but I root for the Jags now. You know, Dalton's been coaching a couple years there. I've seen them have some ups and some downs. I actually play with Ryan. Shout out to Ryan Rodriguez. He's on my men's league team. I was just playing with him. He's about to go out to college soon over in Oklahoma, but. Yeah, man, he puts in a lot of work. You know, he's got some great relationships with those kids, and I just hope they start doing a little better, man. Like they've had some rough years, but it's an awesome atmosphere when I go out and watch them play. You know, like they just redid the gym too. It looks real nice.
Absolutely.
But to me, it's nothing like the Titans, but I'm a little biased.
Got it. He's Titan born, Titan bred. Now, Garrett, what about after school? You know, how long did you continue to hoop? Did you hang it up? What was it like for you after high school?
So I got a couple small offers from different state colleges in different states like Kentucky, things like that. I sat down with my dad, and it just wasn't something that like I didn't think I could ever make the league, you know, and I didn't have aspirations to play overseas. So I went to FGCU and I played some intramural, and I actually tried out for the team my sophomore year. They had open tryouts, and man, that woke me up, man. Like just being a D1 athlete, people don't realize, man, these people are in shape. You know, like you take a year off, like you're partying, you're going to school, you know, like
you're not running.
Like when this wasn't like a 4-hour practice, you know. I was just there for 2 hours running some drills and doing some scrimmages. And after that practice, man, I was like, I would have to change my entire life for like a good period of time just to be able to get in shape, you know? Like it's a different world, you know? Like, so I never played college ball. I just did some intramurals, and, you know, coming from high school, being a good high school player, you feel like a king, you know, playing intramural ball, but against some guys that probably never played before. So I enjoyed my time playing intramural basketball.
Yeah.
You know, my team actually won the championship. We went to a tournament at UCF versus other intramurals, and had fun doing that. But no college ball or any professional. So I coach basketball now. I've been coaching it for 6-7 years now, and I play like rec leagues and things like that, but no, I never
put on shows at LA Fitness, you know what I mean?
The LA Fitness life. Still try to play some outdoors, Jessica Clinton, you know, and trying to give back to the younger kids, you know, because like I'll go out there, and my game is kind of a dying art, you know, like with the bigs. So they see me and complain like, man, you're just backing me down. Like no one's doing that these days, you know. So
not used to that.
It's all athletic stuff, 3-pointers. So, you know, I enjoy while I can, but I really enjoy coaching, giving back to the younger generation.
Yeah, that's something I always thought about doing. I just didn't think I had enough time to devote to really be a coach. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, but I've always wanted to kind of give somebody the trick or the tip or the, you know, teaching to help somebody like me get to where I got. You know, I don't think it was ever college. It wasn't ever AAU for me. It wasn't cone drills. It was something. It was confidence. So how can I unlock that for other kids?
Right.
Because I got as good as I ever wanted to be in basketball throughout my life. I think that's all that mattered. You know, I didn't make the NBA. Had some G League. People wanted me to have a G League tryout, but I got as good as I ever wanted to be. I could really dunk. I could say I was a good player out here. And at this point, Garrett, like the legend of Wido, the hooper, is kind of better than I am right now. So I don't want to hoop anymore, because then I got to live up to that standard. They want me to windmill and shit again, Garrett. I'm like, whoa.
I got tape for that.
Outlet. Before I let you get out of here, Garrett, I appreciate you stopping by, dog. Have you found love yet?
I have. I got a serious girlfriend. I met her during teaching. Real serious. I'm real blessed to have met her. She's not from here, so she doesn't know my past.
She doesn't know the real Garrett. Okay,
yeah, so she knows me now, you know. But I'm real lucky, locked down, and you know, I got a loving family, man. I'm super blessed to be in the position I'm at right now, man. No complaints. We really are.
If we were to go back and tell Garrett 15 years ago where you're at now and what you're doing, would he have believed it back then?
You know, I always like to say, man, like I when I was younger, you know, you have those kid aspirations, like, man, I'm gonna make the league, you know, like, yeah, you know, like all I know is like where I'm at now, man. Like, you know, I try not to compare myself, because like comparison is the thief of joy. Absolutely. And I truly believe that, especially with social media and everything out these days, like it's easy to get caught up in somebody else's life, especially when you don't even know if that's true or not, you know? So my younger self, man, like would just be proud that I'm sticking with it, you know, like waking up every day, just trying to do my best. And, you know, not every day is my best, but I'm just I'm trying to take steps forward every day. So that's just where I'm at right now. You know, am I where I want to be? Probably not, but you know, I'm trying to get to that spot eventually, and I just got to keep taking steps forward, man. And like, you have up days and you have bad days, but got to surround yourself with people that want the best for you. So on those down days, they just bring you up, you know?
I love that. Couple of fan favorite Wado questions I got for you, Garrett, real quick, rapid fire. If I had $1 million here for you and you had to make 2 phone calls, one person has to pick up and the other person has to forward you, who would you call?
Oh, one person does not answer?
One has to pick up for you and one person has to either forward it, leave you on red, ignore it.
Okay. I'm gonna call Derek Lowe. Shout out to Derek Lowe.
Is he going to answer?
He's going to answer. He always answers his phone. Quickest text back I have in my phone. And then I'm going to call Kyle, who won't pick up, even though he's my best friend. No, Kyle's the worst with his phone. He'll get back to me whenever he gets back to me, but nah, he's not going to pick up.
Okay, I want to ask you this. Could Shelby guard you for 10 possessions one-on-one?
No, absolutely not.
Out of 10 times, how much can you score on her?
Every time.
So 10 out of 10?
It's just a physical, like, she's an athletic body, you know. I probably got like 120 pounds on her, so like, no, she couldn't guard me.
10 out of 10, you're going to the paint?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That even said, take the worst basketball player, they shoot better from a layup than Steph Curry does from 3. You know, like it's just the closer you get, the higher your odds go, man.
Now I want to ask this: if you had to return 10 of her serves, how many would you be able to return?
If considering they all get over the net, which they should, probably like 1.
You got one. You got one in you now.
You know, my best chance is for her to hit the net and it be a service error. But yeah, probably 1. I got 1 good guess in me.
I want to ask you, if you were stuck on an island for 1 month, Garrett, could only listen to 3 artists, who would they be?
Old Kanye, Kendrick, and Drake.
I like that.
That'll be my 3.
I like that. For you, Garrett, if you could go back and replay one game that you've ever played in, which one would it be?
Well, it's hard not to say our last game that we lost. I felt like we were better than that team too in the regionals that sent us home, University from Orlando. But man, I really want to say County. That's the game I like. It's just a pride thing, man. I just wanted to beat them one time, you know. Like we were right there. We had the game, man. A lot of things went wrong for us, man. We got a kid. We had a dude set a charge, lost his tooth. You know,
damn.
Like we had some things go wrong for us that game, but that's the game I really want to have back.
Garrett, I want to ask you, who's better all time, Paul Pierce or Dwayne Wade?
I'm one of those arrogant people that think Paul Pierce is better.
God damn.
Look, take the years. I get it. I've tried to make the argument, man, but Paul Pierce was underrated. You take those years.
Very much so. I will agree.
Like, you take those years that Wade didn't have LeBron. Don't get me wrong. He still had one of the best postseason runs of all time, you know. But Paul Pierce was a top 10 3-point shooter when he retired by the numbers, you know. Like, I wouldn't say I'm a Dwayne Wade hater, but like, he couldn't shoot. We gonna put him at top 5 shooting guard, top 3. A lot of people would have him. You know, he can't shoot. Like,
right.
I'm just saying I think Dwayne Wade would have trouble in today's day, the way the game is played. You know, a lot of people would have sagged off of him heavy, really made him shoot. Not that he couldn't shoot, but it would have been a different game in today's game. And I think Pierce just had an overall better game. He had the 3, he had the mid range, he had the ISO. You know, I think he's tied or top 5 for most clutch shots, like buzzer beaters, you know, and like, that's just who I grew up watching, you know, like Paul Pierce is my guy. I'm going to ride with him, but I do know that's not the norm for this question.
He is a Celtics fan. You like all Boston teams or
all
just
Boston teams, man?
Shit, here we go.
Red Sox, Patriots, Bruins.
Let's keep it going, sir.
You know?
I want to ask you this. Who you got all time, Kevin Garnett or Dirk Nowitzki?
That's tough, man. That's so tough. You got to, as an overall player, I can't go against KG, but man,
they both bring you 2 different things.
They're bringing totally different things. But like, if I'm drafting a team, it depends who I have on that team. You know, like if I need a scorer, it's not even a question. I'm gonna go with Dirk. You know, like I don't think people realize like Dirk, man, he was special, and I think that run he had. It's probably the best we've seen in our lifetime. You know, I think it's easily the most impressive team run. You know, I thought there would have been an argument this year if the Pacers would have won it. Underrated, you know, they beat a lot of teams that no one expected them to beat, but he swept Kobe. You know, they beat this, like, even that first round, they beat Brandon Roy and Dwight Howard. Like
the run that them
not Dwight Howard, LaMarcus Aldridge. Like people were like those players were in their prime.
They beat the Heat. They went crazy.
Yeah, and obviously that Heat team, man. Like, and he had some good pieces. Don't get me wrong, but not. For a championship team, your second and third best players are usually better than Jason Terry and an old Jason Kidd, you know?
Right.
And Sean Marion was super underrated too.
I want to ask, who do you think is better in your opinion, Rajon Rondo or Chris Paul?
Rondo.
Yeah,
I don't got to think
Ring
about that.
Ring me, baby.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah, no, he's people forget about Sunday primetime ABC Rondo, you know?
Come on now. Broke his arm, came back, made a steal and a layup with a bro. He's a dog, savage. People forgot Rajon Rondo.
They really did. And I'm not the biggest Chris Paul fan. Like a lot of my close guys would tell you I'm a hater of his. I like to joke and call him CP0, but like I just everywhere he's gone, man, he's had talent. Where a championship berth at, you know? Like something, you know?
Be real with me, Boston Celtic fanatic. As a former highest paid player in the league, with that criteria, was Jaylen Brown overrated or underrated?
I gotta go overrated, man. Like
keep it real, baby.
So like, you know, the arguments, a lot of back and forth between Tatum and Brown, you know, who's better. I can't fathom and understand the people that think Brown is better than Tatum. Like the only aspect you can argue is defense, in my opinion. Jaylen Brown, I do think he's got a little more dog in him, but he struggles going left.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of tough contested twos, which he makes some of them, you know, but for $304 million, I got to have, like, we're about to see this year with Tatum being out for a majority of the year, if not the whole year, but he's got to be that guy, you know, like, and look how we lost last year, you know, like, give me a competitive game 6, you know, like the pieces around us. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Jaylen Brown. I know he plays for Celtics. I'm not a hater of his. I root for him because he plays for us, but I wish we would have let him go and save that $304 million. If you understand how cap works in the NBA, you know, like that's a lot of money to pay one player.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think he deserved Finals MVP. But like you go look at the finals and the conference finals where he won both of them, the Larry Bird Award and the Finals MVP.
Yep.
Tatum had better numbers in every category, you know. Like, and if you have better numbers in every category and no game was really close, like, you know, it wasn't competitive like that. So there's no like big clutch shots, you know, like no Robert Horry moments and stuff like that.
Right. Andre Iguodala.
Right. And that's how I look at it. Like if the Steph Curry arguments, like they were like, oh, they gave it to Iggy. That's how I look at it. Like I don't think Tatum is as good as Steph is in like comparisons, but I do think that Tatum deserved that Finals MVP like Steph deserved that Finals MVP.
Last one I want to ask for you. If you could have one, another Super Bowl for the Patriots or another NBA championship for the Celtics, which one would you pick?
There's nothing like a Super Bowl, man, but I got to witness 6 of them. So I'm going to go with the Celtics championship. I've got to see Celtics 2, ring. You know, so I'm going to go with another Celtics ring, man, because us Boston fans are spoiled, man. I've got to see the Red Sox win. I've seen the Red Sox win 4. I've seen the Bruins win 1. I've seen the Celtics win 2 now. We really should have more than 2, man. It's been killing me these last couple of years. We've been so much more talented, and I really wish we had won a couple of those Heat series. Man, killed me. You know, when we won it didn't even feel that. It felt great. Don't get me wrong, but it felt so much better not to lose than it did to win. You know, like when we lost to the Heat a couple of years ago, man, I thought we were so much better than them. Like going down 3-0 just to come back to losing 7 in the Garden. What we do in the Garden has been embarrassing to our fan base, man. We got the best fans in basketball
at home,
and our record at home in the playoffs is almost like 500. You know, with the talented roster. You know, the more talented roster more times than not. So it's tough, man. It's been tough, but I would choose a Celtics ring.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, brother, because, you know, last thing I'll say is I'm a lifelong, never really basketball teams, like the Magic, you know what I mean? But basketball, I kind of like players more so than teams. But I am a lifelong, diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, so.
That was a rough Super Bowl for you, man. One of the best for me, though.
Having memories, dog. Just thinking about it, bro. It's just Garrett.
And that's one of those games where you go back and look at, and don't get me wrong, Tom Brady's the GOAT, but that ring is more about how a team loses a game more than a team wins a game. You know, like after that Julio catch, I really don't know how we won that game.
The catch. We missed blocks. Devontae Freeman missed a block. Matt Ryan took a sack, had him wide open. I mean,
but you shouldn't even been passing the ball, you know?
why were we trying to run it up? I don't want to do it. We got to end the show. We can't think about this, dog. I'm just glad he wants another Celtic ring and not a Patriot ring, because that ripped my heart out more than anything in life. But shout out to them, man. Shout out to the Patriots. Shout out to Boston in general.
Let me ask you, as a Falcons fan,
Please.
What did you think about y'all drafting Penix?
I wasn't mad. I was upset that we gave a hurt Kirk Cousins $188 million. Okay. I wanted to go give some money to Justin Fields, try to get in the Lamar Jackson race.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's what we needed to do. We did not
Lamar
need
Jackson
that.
in Atlanta would blow up the city.
Come on, like we've proven with the Vic experience that we had. That was the whole thing, the Michael Vick experience, that like we rally around that kind of guy. This is Atlanta. This is A-Town. We're going to rally around something like this. It's not just because you're black or you're an athletic quarterback, but somebody that we can really get behind, that's got the culture behind them. Rappers are going behind them. That's what we need. And Kirk Cousins is cool. We're doing a little dance. We got some chains on.
Right.
I think the city would have got really behind Justin Fields, hometown kid. We would have really gotten behind Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
So
I'm with
shout
you,
out
man.
to Penix. I want to see what he can do. You know what I mean? I'm glad that he's got a lot of high hopes. A lot of people are speaking really well on him.
Y'all still got both of them, though.
We
What you gonna do?
You got to get rid of one. $188 million, dog. What are we gonna do?
Hey, I'm not complaining if I'm Kirk Cousins sitting on the bench with $188 million. You know,
bro.
So I'm with you though. As a Patriots fan, I want to see some of these guys leave the AFC. I'm tired of we ain't going nowhere with Josh, Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow. Burrow's super underrated. Like, but go to the NFC, man. Like, I would love to see Lamar in Atlanta.
Yeah, please. Let's give him a chance. Let me get a regroup here.
Really, man.
Well, listen, dog. Garrett, Ken, I appreciate you, big dog. This is one of the legends of the Treasure Coast Titans, man. That's Titan-bred, Titan-born, Titan-bred family. I appreciate you coming out. Anybody you want to shout out before I let you get out of here, dog?
Hey, man, just shout out to Justin and Kyle and my family, man. Like, we wouldn't have never won districts. And Coach Lehman, shout out to those guys, man. We would have never won districts and been the team we were without those guys. So shout out to them.
You heard it here first. He's a Titan legend, keeping the tradition going. And unfortunately, he's a goddamn Patriots fan. So let's go Celtics. I appreciate you, my dog.
Hey,
Till
man,
next
thanks for
time.
having me.
It's your boy YDOE.
Hottest podcast in the area, man.
Appreciate that. Let's go, big dog. We lit, baby. Yeah.